Steve Parker, 530 West Berry Street. Good evening, and thank you for the opportunity to speak with you. I'd like to express my appreciation to Councilwomen Brown and Goldners for all their hard work. I know that they worked long and hard on the project, much to the betterment of our community and economic development therein. One thing I'd like to point out is that perhaps this is the time to discuss whether or not a tax abatement should be awarded to a development such as a casino or other type of gambling establishment. Currently, there are no restrictions in either the state or local statutes that would prohibit such an abatement from being granted. But given the tenor of this council, I feel the issue would be one that would be greatly debated and that a decision would not be arrived at easily. When the city of Anderson, and I mean that very positively. And
that's okay. It's a compliment.
It is. When the city of Anderson saw a horse track come to town 14 years ago, they provided them with infrastructure, but it was the extent of the assistance they provided to the racetrack. More recently, a casino came to their town and was not granted any type of tax abatement or incentive. The feeling was that in that community that casinos have the potential to generate such huge revenues and profits that taxpayer-funded incentives were not justified. I might add that I would wonder how it would fly in this community, just all the different issues that are surrounded with gambling and casinos and that sort of thing. I'm not sure if a provision is needed in the city statute, and I'm not a lawyer, so if it did exist, I don't know how that would work with it not being in the state. If the city can prohibit something that the state doesn't, that's for you all. But perhaps it does need to be discussed now so that future developers and city staff have a guideline to proceed by. There was a news article today about a company here in town that's kind of making some moves and making some noise in that area. So even if a decision is not reached or nothing is added or changed in the ordinance regarding this issue tonight, an indication would serve as notice to potential developers and the community of what the council is thinking. If I were a gambling man, I'd probably bet the house that the issue will be coming to this council at some point during the remainder of your term. Again, thank you for the opportunity to speak about the issue, and congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Steve. Is there anyone else that'd like to speak for or against this? State your name and address, sir.
John Kalb, 3720 Mulberry Road. I'd like to speak in support of the proposed change to the amendment. I think this is going to be much more in line with what I have come here oftentimes asking for. And I think the changes that have been recommended are in the right direction. I just wanted to make you aware of that. I do have one question that came up when Stephen was talking. A packaged liquor store holds a liquor dealer's permit under IC 7.1-3-10 or any other entity required to operate under a license issued under this same one. When I look at this IC 7.1, the whole thing, I don't see how we can even let a restaurant that serves liquor file, or any building that's used for a restaurant that serves drinks. It would fall under this IC 7.1. So I really question the Harrison. If it's going to have restaurants in it that serve liquor, it could not qualify under this. It'd be excluded from qualifying at least that portion of the facility. Just a comment.
Is there anyone else that'd like to speak for or against this?
Jeff Pruitt, 9311 Comfort Court. I think this is better than what we had in the past. Still not sure it's what we should be doing. I just think abatements in general are inefficient and ineffective for economic development. it takes a bureaucracy to implement. It's too costly for some businesses, although I know this addresses that, and I think that's a step in the right direction. Some businesses don't qualify. It creates an unfair playing field, or can potentially create an unfair playing field between competitors. I just think we have this tool, and I hear you talk about it as a tool in the toolbox for economic development, but it's like using a hacksaw to try and hammer the nail. If you want economic development, you lower the tax rate. That's what you do. That drives investment for everybody, not just those applying for abatements. It's more efficient. It will certainly cause a cut in revenue. I'm not sure that's not what's needed anyway. I think city government has probably grown too large. And I think if we can increase investment and cut back on the growth and size of city government, I see that as a good thing. So in general, I guess I would like to thank Councilwoman Goldner and Brown for their work on this. I think it's definitely an improvement, but I still don't think we're going in the right direction. We need to lower tax rates.